Okay, I failed at making this recipe. I will show you in a few seconds how I failed at making this veggie pasta noodle, and then how it turned into this delicious, quick pasta and vegetable recipe. This recipe is for you if you're looking for a quick 30-minute dinner that's both healthy and easy. Alright, let's dive right in. I was going to make this pasta dish with homemade butternut squash noodles and failed. I tried these two ways and thought that I had a winner with this hand-cut method, but it was different to get the shape to be the long, thin noodles I wanted. I ended up making the whole dish, but I wasn't satisfied. I show you in the end how it turned out along with the regular pasta I used. Let's start out by setting up our kits. What is this? This is how we speed up the dinner making process. The whole process from start to finish is just under 30 minutes. But if you prepare the kit ahead of time or the day before, you turn this into a 15-minute pasta recipe. I can make some of the components earlier in the day or even the day before as mentioned and keep them ready to throw together when it's dinner time. As you make dinners like this, you will see how easy it is to prepare more of each component. It can then be used on another day or over several days on different recipes. Most fresh, easy meals don't need freshly cut ingredients, just freshly cooked ingredients. So I prepare each of the vegetables and store them according to how I will add them to the sauté pan. It consists of 1 leek halved and sliced, 1 red bell pepper halved, seeded with the stem removed and diced fine, 2 each zucchini cleaned with the ends removed, halved and sliced, 1 head of garlic crushed and chopped finely, 429 milliliters or a 14.5 ounce can of high quality diced tomatoes, 10 milliliters or 2 teaspoons oregano, 30 milliliters or 2 tablespoons of basil, 5 milliliters or 1 teaspoon of thyme, 240 milliliters or 1 cup of white wine. I'm using a Pinot Grigio, but you can use any dry white wine that you favor. Use salt and pepper as needed. Wait, you ask me, what if I don't know what as needed is? Start out with as little as you want, or I'm using 15 milliliters or a tablespoon of salt and 5 milliliters or a teaspoon of pepper. These might be a good starting point for you. Then add a dash of each at a time until it's as salty and peppery as you like. It's always easier to add more if you need to, and almost impossible to fix if you add too much. All of these will become one part of my kit. The garlic, leeks, and bell can be kept together. Zucchini, tomato sauce, spices, and wine stored separately. If you're making it for later, just cool the sauce after it's finished and store it in the fridge for another day. Now we make the sauce. In a pot, add the leeks, garlic, and red bell pepper with some extra virgin olive oil. Let that sweat on a medium heat until they are soft and release their wonderful aromas. Follow that with zucchini, a can of tomatoes, and all the spices. Check the flavor. This is your pasta sauce, so add as much or as little of the spices as you like. When it's spicier, one hack is to add crushed chili peppers. Next is the wine. Let that cook for a moment as the alcohol cooks off. Let that simmer on low for at least 15 minutes. This is where we come to another possible meal prep idea. You can have the components set up like I mentioned earlier, or you can take this sauce you just made and cool it for later or freeze it for a future date. I cooled it to show you how I will add it in a few moments to the pasta recipe. The next step is one I've used before. If you're like I was a couple of years ago, I thought the only way to cook pasta was in boiling water. I was wrong, and this method works perfectly. I think it actually works better for reasons I'll explain in just a moment. I add 960 milliliters or 4 cups of water to a wide pot and 454 grams or 16 ounces of dried pasta. I know I'll get a few constructive comments about this method, but give it a chance. Immediately, I spend a couple of minutes turning the pasta to get it to cook evenly. You see, as the water heats, the pasta relaxes and I can start folding it easily. It's still very firm in the center, but do you see what's happening to the pasta water? A little evaporates, but more absorbs into the pasta. This resulting pasta water is what many professional chefs covet as the secret ingredient to add to their pasta sauces. It's a full-flavored broth that's starchy and delicious. We're not pouring any of it out. Once it reduces to a nice thickened sauce, I keep it as a part of the whole dish. First, this makes it an easy one-pot dish. And secondly, it enhances the whole flavor of the recipe. The pasta is al dente now, and I take the cooked sauce from earlier and heat it up with the pasta and starchy water. It only takes a couple of minutes of turning and heating it further to end with this perfectly al dente pasta and full-bodied sauce. At this point, you have a nice vegan and vegetarian pasta. I chose to enhance it with a sprinkle of freshly grated Parmesan. Here was the failed butternut squash pasta. I'll show you in a future video how to properly make this without error and not to to make the mistakes I did. What do you think of this pasta dish? Does it look delicious? Is the method one you'll try? Are you for or against this pasta cooking method? I want to know in the comments below. The combination of textures and flavors in this dish is simply amazing. I love it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this healthy and tasty recipe. Don't forget, for more delicious ideas, they're shared every Sunday. Now stay tuned for the next video. Happy cooking.